Hello, this is Rich, and this is my first individual audio piece. So this is my mom's side of the story from last Sunday, February 10th, about the big snowstorm we had. The weatherman said that it would be rain, snow, and it was.
Okay, so a month ago, not even a month ago, I finally got a new car. It's a 2007 Crown Victoria with rear-wheel drive. And I really don't like to drive the four-wheel drive or the rear-wheel drive, so especially in the snow. So on Sunday it was snowing, and because Samantha's car got broken, everybody had to switch cars. So Samantha was driving Rich's car, and Rich was driving my car, and Paul was driving his car, and Paul had Rich's snow gear in his car during the snowstorm that Rich was driving me.
So the whole point there is that I had to drive a different car because my sister's car was broken, and my mom doesn't trust my sister to drive rear-wheel drive because she's a horrible driver, and she's been in 2 car accidents already, and she's only 20. But I haven't crashed at all.
So we left the house at 10:30 to go to the meeting for Rich's church group trip this weekend, and we're driving along, and he was doing just fine, and then he started fishtailing. He was doing all right, and then all of a sudden, whoop, we spun around in the middle of the Stacy Trail and backed right into the dang ditch.
In my defense, there was no weight in the trunk, so that I had no grip. The wheels are pretty bald, and I was fishtailing for quite a ways before I finally spun out, but, you know, whatever, it happens. We got there faster than if my mother would have driven, because I was going about 45, and she was only driving 20 when she actually started to drive.
So then we tried to get it out a little bit, and the only thing we had to dig out with was the ice scraper for the windshield. So we did that for a while, and then we called Uncle Dan, and then finally Uncle Dan came, and they tried to shove us out, and that didn't work, and then another car shoved us out, and they just said, just keep going. So I yelled out the window, "You got Rich?"
I really wasn't in the ditch that bad. Half the back of the car was shoved in there. I think that if I had a little bit of weight on the back, it would have gone out pretty easily. It would have just drove out, but some guy, after my uncle got there, some guy stopped out of the kindness of his heart to help us push it out, and once we had 3 people in the back pushing, it came right out.
So then we're driving along, and I really wasn't like driving in the snow, so then I called Dan and said, "I'm just going to your house, and you can drive." So then we went to the meeting. So that was a 30-minute meeting, so we got done with that, and then we had to go and switch vehicles. So we're going back up Stacy Trail, and because Rich already put us in the ditch, I figured it'd probably be safer if I drove. So I drove to Stacy Trail. So we're driving along, doing 20 miles an hour, almost to where I need to go, and I look in the rearview mirror, and here comes the county plow trucking on down the street. So I figured, okay, I better get off the road and out of the way, because I can't pull over because the plow will bury me in a snowbank, and he can't go around me because he'll bury me in a snowbank. So I pulled off into this parking lot thinking I could just turn around quick in the parking lot, but no, we got stuck. So after 20 minutes of pushing him, we still didn't get out.
See, this is what really justifies it not being my fault going in the ditch, because this parking lot literally had 4 inches of snow on it, covered by ice, and that's the only reason we couldn't get out. We weren't stuck in a rut or anything. It was just snow and ice. Couldn't drive out. It was stupid.
Help, and then finally our help came, and it took another car to pull us out of the parking lot. But they didn't pull us just out of the spot where we were stuck. They had to actually pull us all the way out of the parking lot. So we finally got unstuck from there. Then after I said, I'm not driving anymore. So Paul drove the car over to where he was working on Samantha's car, and when he got there, he pulled into the driveway and got my car stuck in the parking lot. So they finally got my car unstuck from the parking lot and parked it on the side street, and then after we parked on the side street, we went back to try to get his car that was already stuck in the driveway unstuck. So then we got that one unstuck, and then I said, I'm not driving home. So then we got a ride from his buddy the next block over back to our car, which our car was again stuck because apparently we need new tires. So after we got unstuck from there when Stephen and Paul, which are all three big guys, all in the car with enough weight, we finally got the car going. Then we drove down to where the other car was stuck, pushed that car out, and then drove home. And it took us 6 hours just to get home that day for a 30-minute meeting.
It's really funny because I didn't get my car stuck at all. I mean, my sister managed to get my car stuck, but I've never, ever gotten my car stuck anywhere. Like, my car is a Geo Prism. It's a little tiny car, but I've never gotten stuck, so yeah, my car, I just love it.